Welcome to my online class. My dear students, this is English class for HSC first year students. Good morning, my dear students. In this foggy, misty winter morning, I think all of you are fine. By the grace of Almighty Allah, I am also fine. So you have just completed your class test. I hope you are doing well in your examination. And now you are know how can you participate in your online class, and I think you are doing your class regularly and timely. You are the youngest member of our Kobi Nazrul family. So as English teacher, we are the teacher of all groups, you know that. So I hope all of you are doing well and continuing our class. This is our first class in 2021. So again, I hope you can do well in this new year. So try to follow health rules and try to keep safe and sound. Okay? So you know, I am Nargis Begum, Assistant Professor, Department of English, and we are fortunate that we are the teacher of all groups. So again, my dear students, in this foggy, misty winter morning, good morning all of you again. So today I will do from your English for Today book. You know, we are doing several from your syllabus. We are doing poetry section. You know that in my first class I told you there are so many poems in your English for Today books, and I will do one by one. We have already done 2 poems, and gradually you can understand how can you write in your exam from this poetry section. In your examination you will find this kind of question: write the theme of the poem. So in my previous class I will show you how can write a summary or theme. Gradually you can understand. Okay, are you with me, my dear students? Try to follow me. So get ready for it. Take your book English for Today. Today our poem is Love and Friendship. Okay, try to open the book, and this is Love and Friendship, Unit 4, Lesson 2. Unit 4, Lesson 2, and this is from page 48. Page 48. Get ready, my dear students. Try to follow me. Open the book. This is from English for Today book. This is your book, you know that. And page number 48. Page 48, Unit 4, Lesson 2. Unit 4, Lesson 2. And the poem, the name of the poem is Love and Friendship, written by William Shakespeare. Notice carefully, the name of the poet is, he is the one of the major famous dramatist or poet in English literature, William Shakespeare, you know that. So now we are going to read the poem, that is Unit 4, Lesson 2, page 48. At first I will like to show you the word meaning of the poem. So try to follow the word meaning at first. Ingratitude. Ingratitude. What is the meaning of ingratitude? You know that. Grateful, and opposite ungrateful. Ingratitude means ungrateful. Ungratefulness, that is noun. Ingratitude, ungratefulness. And unkindness, you can also say unkindness. So this is the word ingratitude. It is very important word in our poem. What is the meaning? Ungratefulness, ungrateful or unkindness. And keen means sharp. Keen, sharp. Feigning, feign word is important. Feigning, fake. Feign means fake. pretend, feign, fake, pretend, feign, fake, pretend. That is not real, fake. You know that. Folly, folly, lack of good sense. Folly, lack of good sense. Folly means lack of good sense. Foolishness, water word that is distort. Distort, that means distort. Word means distort. Distort. I will explain you later. At first I will told you the normal meaning. And sting means wound, pain, sting, something biting. And holy, evergreen sharp, evergreen sharp, evergreen sharp. And mere simple. Okay. Now we'll directly go to the poem. Then we can explain one by one. So this is the poem. The name of the poem is Love and Friendship, written by William Shakespeare. Okay, get ready for it and take your book and English for Today book, page 48. So this is the poem. At first I'll try to read, then I would explain analysis. So from the very beginning, the poem starts in this way. Poem starts in this way. Blow, 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 blow thy winter wind. This is the first line of the poem. Try to follow me. Blow, blow the winter wind. Thou art not so unkind. Blow, blow, you know, the wind is blowing. That is the important word is winter wind. So what do you know about winter wind? Winter wind, something, notice carefully. Notice carefully, that is winter wind. Blow, blow the winter wind. The word thou is important here. Thou means you. In Old English, thou means you. Blow, blow the winter wind. Blow, blow the winter wind. Thou art not so unkind. Thou art. That is important. Here is the subject is winter wind. The poet treated winter wind as a person. He said, blow, blow the winter wind. You know what kind of winter wind is. Now is winter, so you can understand winter wind is chilly, very, very painful winter wind. This is not something pleasant feelings. So the poet said, blow, blow the winter winds. Thou mean you. Thou art not so unkind. That is adjective, unkind. Unkind, winter is not something kind. It is chilly, cold and unkind. As make ingratitude, as man's ingratitude. Here this line is very important, as man's ingratitude. So what is the meaning of first three lines? Blow, blow the winter winds. Thou art not so unkind, as man's ingratitude. That is important, ingratitude. What do you mean by ingratitude? Ingratitude, that is, I want to say, that is ungratefulness. Ingratitude, ungratefulness. So what is the meaning of ungratefulness? Unkindness. The men who are not grateful. Here the poet want to say, winter wind, notice carefully, winter wind and man's ingratitude. Comparison between two things. What are the two things? Winter wind, that is something cold and painful. Cold and painful, winter wind. And man's ingratitude, that is man's ingratitude. What do you mean by man's ingratitude? The men who are not grateful. The sense of ungratefulness. Okay? Ingratitude means unkindness, who are not grateful. The men who are not grateful. So, this nature of man's, this characteristic, ingratitude, is more painful, more cruel than winter wind. So, these two things are very important here. What is the two things? Winter wind and man's ingratitude. The comparison between two things. The poet wants to say, man's ingratitude is more painful, more unkind than winter wind. Okay? Comparison between winter wind and man's ingratitude. Write these two words. My dear students, are you with me? Try to follow me. What is the main meaning of these three lines? The poet wants to say, now we are passing winter season, so what is the impact of winter wind. It is not pleasant thing. Winter wind is something very cold. So this cold weather, in this cold wind, it is unkind to human being. The poet want to say more unkind is man's ingratitude. That is very painful. Man's ingratitude. Man's ingratitude means man cannot show kindness or cannot show his gratefulness. That is ingratitude. People are ungrateful, we know that. People cannot show gratitude. Gratitude. So, this word is important here, unkindness of the people. That is more painful to the poet. The poet want to say winter wind is cold, that is painful, but man's ingratitude is more unkind, more painful. Okay? So, now I go to the fourth line. Thy tooth is not so keen. Thy tooth. Who is thy here? Thy means your. Your. The poet here treated winter wind as a person. In our literary term, that is called personification, but you are so youngest member, you are not familiar with this, so I cannot explain any literary term, but it was personification. It is called personification. The poet treated winter wind as a person. Thou, that means you are not so unkind as man's ingratitude. Man's ingratitude is more unkind than you. That is the meaning of the first three lines. The poet wants to say, man's ingratitude is more unkind than you. You means winter wind. The poet addressed winter wind as a person. So this is called personification. You can write it. My dear students, are you with me? You can write it. That is called personification. Literary term. The poet used it. So he says, thy tooth. Thy means your. That is old English. Thou, you, and thy, your. You can write it. Thy means your. Your tooth. You, who is you here? You is winter wind. Your tooth is not so keen. The poet again want to say winter wind. Keen means sharp. That is, we want to say winter wind that is blowing, that is biting. He has tooth. So this is cold. So we called it, he's biting with his tooth. The poet want to say thy tooth is not so keen. Keen here means sharp. Is not so keen. Because thou art not seen. Art means the winter winds. We only feel it. We cannot see it. We cannot see, but we feel it. Thou art is not so sharp. It is biting cold. But you have tooth. You biting us. But this is not so sharp. Although thy be rude. Although because thou art not seen. We cannot see the winter wind, but we only feel it. Okay? Although thy breath, this is the last line, although thy breath be rude. So what is the meaning of first stanza? Rude means something again unkind, not kind. The poet want to say, blow, blow the winter wind. Thou means you. winter wind you are blowing. Winter wind is not something pleasant. You know that. Now we are passing winter season. We know winter wind is very cold. So this is not pleasant feeling. This is not joyful. It is painful. But the poet want to say, man's ingratitude is more painful than you. You, winter wind, you are unkind. We are not seeing you. You are rude. Your breath is rude. You are blowing unkindly. In winter season, if wind is blowing, that is very painful. We know that. We are feeling cold and pain. So the poet want to say, but it is nature. In nature we find winter wind is blowing. It is painful. It is very hard. But man's ingratitude is more painful than you. Man's ingratitude is more painful than you. That is the main point here. Okay, try to understand and try to write. What is the main point here? Or what is the comparison? Winter wind and man's ingratitude, ungratefulness of man, unkindness of people. That is the two subject here. What are the subject? Winter wind and man's ingratitude. I am telling you repeatedly again and again, man's ingratitude. That means ungratefulness of man, unkindness of people. That is when people betray, when people show betrayal attitude. That is very painful. So notice the point here. When people betray, when friend betray, that is painful. This characteristic that is very painful than winter wind. So try to understand the comparison between two things. What are the two things? Winter wind and man's ingratitude. But the poet want to say man's ingratitude is more painful than winter wind. That is the main point from first stanza. Okay. Now we are going to and second line. Hey ho, this is the actually as a song. This is actually a song as the comedy of Shakespeare, As You Like It. You know, in As You Like It, it is a song. Shakespeare's comedy, As You Like It. So, in a song, you know, there are some nonsense rhyme that is not any meaning actually. Hey ho, this is some character in the comedy. They are singing in the nature. In nature, winter wind, they are singing this. So, this word, there is no meaning. Sometimes we want to say la la ba something like that. So this is not any meaning. Okay. So the characters are singing and saying hey ho, sing hey ho unto the green holly. That is green holly. That is mean the nature, green sharp, green nature, and tree, plant, forest that is full of green. Green holly, one kind of sharp that is green, full of green. So they are singing. The poem is taken from the Shakespeare's famous comedy As You Like It. Okay. So in this comedy the characters are singing in the forest. So they are singing hey ho, in this way they are singing. This is not any meaning. Green holly means green holly where there is full of green. The nature is full of green. So they are in a jolly mood. They are singing, they are jolly mood. So this says most friendship is feigning. That word is important. Feigning. I want to say, I already show you some word that is feigning means here, notice it. Feigning, fake. The main word is feign. Notice it. Main word is feign. Feign. This is the main word. F-E-I-G-N. This is important. Feign. So what is the main word of feigning? Feign. So feign is the main word. You notice it. Feigning means fake. Pretend. That is important here. Fake, pretend. False. That is not true. So the poet want to say here feigning. So notice this word. Most friendship is feigning. Main word is feign. I want to say fake. Falsehood. That is not true. So the poet want to say most friendship is feigning. That means most friendship is not real. That is pretentive. Most friendship is feigning. Most loving mere folly. Folly, another word. Notice it. Folly, you can say lack of foolishness, lack of good sense. So folly we can say You can write it foolishness. Foolishness. Folly means foolishness. So this line is very important. Most friendship is feigning. The poet wants to say most friendship is pretentive. That is, feigning means pretentive. That is full of falsehood, fake. That is not real. Another word we can say it is not real. And most love is mere folly. Mere simple. Mere, the word meaning is mere is simple. Folly. Folly. Another word. What is the meaning of folly? Foolishness. Love is full of foolishness and friendship is full of pretentiveness. There is no reality in friendship and in love. So try to understand this line very carefully. This is the gist of the poem. The name of the poem, the title of the poem is Love. Love and Friendship. So the poet wants to say most friendship is feigning. This word is very important. Feigning. Try to understand the pronunciation. We cannot pronounce G. You can write it if F-E-I-G-N, feign. The main word is feign. And here is ing, feigning. Okay? Try to understand this line very carefully. Most friendship is feigning and most loving is mere folly. Folly. What is the meaning of folly? Foolishness. So, this meaning of this line is very simple. Most friendship is pretentive and love is foolishness. Okay? Then hey ho, the holly. This life is jolly. This life is most jolly. So here the poet want to say life is full of merriment, full of joy. They are enjoying in the forest. They are enjoying in the forest. The life is jolly. We are enjoying it. Okay. Then in the last part of the poem, freeze, freeze, thou bitter sky. From the very beginning, we notice what is the subject of the poem, winter wind. Winter wind, notice it carefully. Our main focus on winter wind. And now it is freeze, freeze. Freeze, freeze, the winter wind chilling, very, very chilly, very cold. That is freeze. That is snow-like. So this is freeze, freeze. Thou bitter sky. Winter wind sky is not hot, is not comfortable. It is bitter. Bitter. That means it is not pleasant, salty, bitter sky. It is bitter. Unkind you can say. Okay. So freeze, freeze, thou bitter sky, thou means you. That is winter wind in the sky. How is the sky in winter season? That is bitter. That is not any pleasant. And the dust means dust. Here the poet used Old English. Not bite so nigh. Bite you mean in winter season, we are passing winter, so you can feel it easily. If we feel cold, that is something like that, bitening. In cold, we feel deep cold, we feel bitening. So nigh, you are near, nigh here near. Your bitening, your coldness, your unkindness, as benefits forgot. That is the comparison, as benefit forgots. The poet here compare winter season with benefit forgot. That means the people forgot their benefit. That kinds of people, unkind, ungrateful. So they are very cold from winter wind. The poet wants to say, you are cold. Winter wind, you are cold. You are bitening. Something like that. In cold, we feel you are bitening. But more unkind, more cold, as benefit forgot. The people who forgot benefit or help, who are ungrateful, unkind people, they are more unkind than you. You are unkind, you are painful to us. Winter wind, you are unkind. The poet repeatedly want to say, but men benefit, the people who forgot benefit, who are ungrateful, they are more unkind. So try to understand the main gist of the poem. Again and again the poet want to say, the poet compare with nature, with winter wind. Winter wind is chilly, it is cold, it is painful. It is biting, it is like biting. But the people who forgot benefit, they are more unkind than you. That is the point. More unkind than you. You means winter wind. You are chilly, you are cold, but people who forgot benefit, who are ungrateful, they are more unkind than you. Okay? And finally, the poet wants to say, though thou the water warps. Here the word warp. Warp means something distort, warp. In the water, when winter wind blowing, the water is, there is the movement in the water. Water is moving. Warp means distort, something in a moving condition. In the water, winter wind is blowing, water is moving. So, accelerating, the water is moving. The sting is not so, the sting, biting sting, you know, hard, painful, that is sting. Insect is sting us, so we feel pain. It's not so sharp. So your sting, again winter wind, this is chilly, it is biting, it is sting, it is painful. But as friend remembered not. That is the poem. The poet want to say winter wind is biting, cold, chilly, freezing, and it is sting. But the friend who remembered not, who forgot us, these people, these friends are more unkind than you. Okay, this is the main point. Friend remembered not, as friend remembered not. You are not like that. They are more unkind people. Okay, and finally, hey ho, the singing is continuing. Sing, hey ho, the green unto the green holly. So I want to say this is a song. This song is sung by character in Shakespeare's drama As You Like It. They are in the forest. They are enjoying the nature. At that time they singing this song. So what is the gist of the song? Gist is, it is the winter wind. You are unkind. You are cold. Notice the adjective. Unkind. Keen. Keen means sharp. Try to write the adjective. Unkind. Get ready, take your khata and pen, my dear students. Are you with me? Try to write it. What are the adjectives the poet uses to characterize the winter wind? What are the adjectives? Unkind, sharp, keen, that means sharp. You are keen. Rude, not seen you, we cannot see you, rude. So adjectives are unkind, and keen, rude. So what are the meaning of this? All of these are meaning is unkind. You are painful, you are unkind. So the poet want to say you are unkind, you are cold. What is you? You is winter wind. Here subject is winter wind. Blow, blow the winter wind. The poet want to say winter wind is unkind, rude. That is chilly, cold, biting. That is like the cold is biting us. We are feeling freezing. But man's ingratitude. Here from the very beginning, main point is the poet want to show man's ingratitude. What is the meaning of man's ingratitude? Try to write this word. Man's ingratitude. Ingratitude. Ungratefulness of man. Ungratefulness. The people who are not grateful. Unkindness of people. I say again and again. Ungratefulness of man. That is more unkind, more painful than winter wind. Again the poet want to say the life is jolly, full of merriment, but in the nature, in winter, we are feeling freezing. That is like stinging, insect sting us, hurt us, painful, but the as friendship, friend remembered me not, that is very painful than you. So notice the comparison. Man's ingratitude at first, then benefit cannot remember, who are forgot their benefit. That means ungrateful people, ungrateful friend. And finally, as friend remembered not, that is more painful than you. You means winter wind. So if you think it in a simple way, so I try to analyze it in a very simple way. That is Shakespeare's poet. So try to understand it in a very simple way in your level. I am trying to show, to analyze you in your level. What is the main gist of the poem? The poet want to say winter wind is cruel, unkind, that is biting, but man's ingratitude is more unkind. That is the point. And finally, as friends remembered not, that is the point. The friend who cannot remember you, benefit, that is ungrateful friend. That is their attitude, their nature is more painful. That is the main theme of the poem. The friend who remember me not or who are ungrateful, they are very painful than winter wind. That is the comparison here the poet want to say. Okay. So this is the poem. You at first try to write the line by line analysis. Paraphrase. At first you say, from the very beginning the poet want to say winter wind is unkind, it is rude, we cannot see it, but man's ingratitude is more unkind. Okay. Then you can say winter wind is chilly, it is cold, our life is full of jolly, but the poet want to say, this line is also important, most friendship is feigning. This is the general theme. Friendship is not real. In this world we cannot find real friendship. This is fake, pretensive, not real. And most love is mere folly. Folly means foolishness. This is the message also of this poem. So you say most friendship is pretensive and love is here full of foolishness. And then freezing in the line, final line you can say winter wind is something very cold and chilly. It is like biting, it is sting, but the friend who cannot remember us, their attitude is more painful than you. You means winter wind. Okay. So this is the gist of the poem. The poem Love and Friendship. I think you can understand it. Try to write the line by line analysis, paraphrase, that is summary, and then you can write the theme. At first write summary. Summary is more lengthy than theme. Okay. Theme, you can write theme at least 3 or 5 sentences, not more than that. Okay. So try to follow me and follow my class. I will show you, and gradually you can understand how can write a summary and theme. So my dear student, and your homework is at first write summary then theme. Okay. In your next class I will do another poem. Okay. So try to follow our online class regularly and try to participate and try to benefit it by our classes. My dear students, are you with me? My homework is write a summary of the poem Love and Friendship, and number 2, write the theme of the poem Love and Friendship. Okay. At first write summary then theme. Gradually you can understand and you feel comfortable to write the theme. I want to show how to you write a perfect theme in your final examination. Okay. You can practice it, then you can understand it. Your main motive is to try to understand the poem clearly at first. Okay. This is your effort. This is your initiative to understand the poem. Then you can write it. Okay. So this is the poem. This is our class. And in your next class, I'll try to explain another poem. So my dear students, Try to follow health rules. Keep safe and sound, and try to follow our class regularly. Okay. That's all today. See you in the next class. Till then, Allah Hafiz.